Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm back. It's been a while, but I'm back. So today's video is going to be all about Miraculous Ladybug. Now I did a video a while ago called 25 Facts About Me, and I think I mentioned briefly in that I love Miraculous Ladybug. I actually said that it was my guilty pleasure show, and I will get into that a little bit later. But I decided that I thought, you know what, I actually kind of want to do a dedicated video about it because I have been watching it recently. Like, I got back into it and holy shit, I love it. It's ridiculous that I love it, but I do. And not being funny, I know that a lot of people my age or like a little bit younger are the same, so it doesn't really bother me, to be honest, that I love this. So yes, if you love Miraculous Ladybug like me, then get comfy and we're gonna sit and we're gonna talk about it. Oh yes. Okay, so like any video that I do like this, I have to structure it in some way because I'm such a rambler, and if I don't, then I will literally just word vomit to the camera, and it will not make any sense whatsoever. So I did another notes on my phone that I'm going to look at and now and again to know what I'm saying and how I'm structuring it, because I just like to do that. It makes it easier for me and it'll make it easier for you as well. I'm also going to put in timestamps, so if there's a certain part of the video that you would just want to watch, then click the time that you want and it will take you just straight to that part. I just thought that that will make it a lot easier. Alright, so the first part of this video is going to be talking about how I found Miraculous. Now, it's so weird to think that I discovered it in 2017 and it's 2021 now, and it just feels weird. I don't know if any of you get this feeling, but once you have discovered a show and you get obsessed with it and you watch it all the time, you then forget that there was a time that you didn't know it existed. It's the same with Shadowhunters. I'm always just like, shit, there was a time where I lived without it and I have no idea how I survived because I can't live without it now. And Miraculous is the same because I bloody love it. And it's ridiculous because, yes, it is made for kids. They say kids. I feel like that's a load of bullshit, not gonna lie. So yeah, I was just sat one day on Disney Channel, the beloved channel that we all love, and because how old was I in 2017? I was 16, so I was still acceptable to watch. I was still in high school, so please, I was still allowed to watch Disney Channel. Jesus. So I was watching it and it was just on and I was like, what's this? I did think it was a load of shit at first, but then I started watching it and I was like, okay, not being funny, I can't really remember because it was like years ago, but I just do remember finding it and watching it and of course being a bit like, okay, but then loving it, and I was like, shit, I also kind of like the show. Because the first things that stood out to me were, I just loved the girl power, you know, like Ladybug. Like, they make it about a superhero, but she's like the main character and she's a girl. I loved that. Because I thought, with it being a kids show, it does help with kids, you know, like it shows an example and it's a role model. Love that. So I liked that. And I also love, like, the jokes and the puns, and it was just funny, and it was weird how I just was drawn to it because I didn't think I would, but it ended up happening. Some kind of magnet in me was drawn, and that was it. I started watching it, and like I say, to be honest with you, I can't really remember it, not knowing it and discovering it, because I just remember knowing it and like being in the now where I love it. Like, I genuinely can't remember, so That's all I'm going to say about that. Alright, so the next part is going to be about the characters, and this is probably where it's going to get a bit long and rambly, so I'm going to try and, you know, be brief with each one, but I wanted to talk about them because, of course, the characters are what make the show, and I just love them all, basically, so I just want to talk about them. So I'm just going to look at my notes to double check. The first one is, of course, Marinette. We love her so much. I actually love her so much. That's the first bullet point I've got here about her, is I love her so much. And it is a fact. I really do. She is so cute. Her clumsiness is everything. I'm not being funny, but it is. It's hilarious, but it's everything, because it just makes her her. And I think that's what also helps, like, or not helps, but like makes the, like, when she's talking to Adrien, she like stumbles on her words as well, because she's completely, wow, I can't, she's so cute. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot, but they all are. They're all really cute and adorable, and I just love it. Yeah, I put here that she literally never fails to make me laugh. She's so funny. Literally every episode I'm cracking up laughing, because, like I said, I've been re-watching it recently on Disney Plus, because now I can luckily watch it, because I did get rid of Disney Channel, and I'm not being funny, but I was howling with laughter. I just can't. She's so funny. I actually love her so much. And also stan that the voice actor, or like the woman that voices her, is called Christina. Like, we stan a queen. She's brilliant, all of her. Some more things about Marinette is that I related to her so much. Like, it was just unreal. She would do something and I'd be like, say me though. That's me. I'd be like, yeah girl, me though. I just can't. It's so funny, and I think that's another thing why you love a show so much, is when you relate to some of the characters. Because yes, I do also, with the fact that her crush on Adrien though, I think that's what makes the show. Not being funny, but I think it does, because it is so funny. I think that's another thing that makes her hilarious and makes me laugh, is when she's always talking to him, and their scenes, oh Jesus Christ, I just can't. There's literally so much in the show that is ridiculous. I practically love it all. Like, there's nothing that I don't like. I mean, but no, because it's all brilliant. But yeah, her talking to Adrien is hilarious, because she just can't, because of her crush. But like, not being funny, don't blame her. So like, that's where I also relate, because I don't blame you, girl. I actually don't. Alright, so we're now on to Ladybug, and of course, Ladybug is Marinette. They're the same bloody person. Spoiler alert if you didn't know, but like, please, that is the main thing about the show. I mean, please, you learned that from the bloody intro, so yeah. But I actually love the fact that she is Ladybug. I think that's the thing, she's complete opposite, because Ladybug, she's an actual queen. I literally scream it all the time when she's yo-yoing herself around and being a badass, and I stand. I really do. It's just that sometimes I do forget that she is Marinette because of it, but like, there is parts in it where she's showing her Marinette and I'm like, okay, watch out. It does make me laugh. Yeah, like I said, I love the girl power that the show has. Obviously, she's the main character, so I just love that they made a superhero as the main character a girl, for like the little kids growing up watching it. It's brilliant, but like also for me, because I stand that, I really did. And her suit, she always looks so good, and her yo-yo that she has, oh Jesus Christ, would be funny. I could not do that. I actually couldn't. I would snap it. But like, please, I'm not being funny, but watching it as a 20-year-old is kind of funny, because yes, there is parts in it where I'm like, you know, I'm like, duh, or I'm like, obviously, I'm just like, yeah, that's right, go behind that tiny thin tree to transform, no one will see you. But like, I'm always like, girl, it's meant for kids, like, it's meant for like 6-year-olds, they're not going to think that, are they? But sometimes I'm like, please. What you do in it is clearly also meant for like people my age, like teenagers, because if like when I think about it, yeah, I was 16 when I started watching it and I love it still as a 20-year-old, so like they do make it for my age too, because they have some dirty jokes in it and there's some serious innuendos in it and I'm like, start it. Oh yeah, along those lines as well is that I also like still make the joke of like the fact that she's totally not Marinette because of her hairstyle. Why? It's just, yeah, right, okay, I know why. Because apparently their suits are meant to fool the human mind, so they have like magic, their powers does that. But I'm like, please, it's obvious her hair is literally the same as Marinette's. Jesus Christ. But like, whatever. That's just how it works, so I deal with it, but it's just, I still make it now and again, that joke, because please. Why wouldn't I? Oh yes, and then at the end I've just put, just absolutely effing love her, because everything she does makes me scream queen. Yes, absolutely. Because I love her, like, Lucky Charm, when she does that, and she, like, produces, it always makes me laugh as well, how, like, when you think about it, the writers think about what she has to use, like a spoon, to defeat it. I love that too. It's brilliant, it actually is. Oh, okay. So the next one is, of course, my son, Adrien. Oh, shit. I think I mentioned in that other video that I have a slight pixel crush on him, and I probably shouldn't, because, like, one, it's meant for kids, and two, he's a bloody pixel, like, pixelated animation show, and yet there's just something about him that I'm always like, stop. But whatever. I still love him. I've claimed him as my own because he's so cute and precious. So of course I adore him as much. And of course he's one of the main characters because he's also Cat Noir. So I also like that because obviously not only did they do like girl power for the girls, but they've also added it for the boys for Cat Noir. So I like that. But yeah, Adrien is adorable. And I do feel sorry for him now and again, because obviously his dad is a dick, and he's always on his own, and he never like gets to see anyone, because obviously if you watch like the Origins episodes, you'll know that he didn't even go to school at the beginning because his dad was such a dick and homeschooled him. But then he was allowed to go, it lagged, that was rude, and I stand. But he's still irritating, like he always has to model. I don't blame him though, but like he always has to do these photo shoots, and he doesn't really have a say, and I always feel sorry for him. I was like, honey. But like, I think that's why he loves being Cat Noir, because basically when his dad's pissing him off, he can just be like, F this shit and leave as Cat Noir. And that makes me laugh. It actually does. Yeah, but I put here that when he makes me laugh so much, because when Marinette is like crushing over him and saying all this random like weird shit, so, like, sometimes she's full on says like the fact that she likes him in front of his face, and he's always like, wait, what? But then and then she's like, I didn't mean it, and then he just laughs, or he just goes, cool, or okay, and I'm just like, what? That is not real life. Like, if you said that kind of shit to a guy in real life, he would never talk to you again. Like, he'd be like, okay, that is strange, bye, and then that would be it. You would never speak to them again. But Adrien is so cute. He doesn't know, he just goes straight over his head, and he's just like, yeah, alright, bloody hell. Another thing I did just actually put on here was that him and Cat Noir were probably the reason why I watched it. And of course, he is Cat Noir, so we're going to talk about him as well. And I bloody love him as Cat Noir as well. Like, so, like Marinette and Ladybug, sometimes I forget that he is Cat Noir. Like, sometimes I'm watching Cat Noir and his like his charm and his like flirtiness and puns and jokes, I'm like, shit, you're Adrien, and I'm always like, whoa, I forgot about that, because Adrien's just so cute, and like I just always feel sorry for him. And then Cat Noir's just like, stop, what are you doing? But like, that's probably why, because he can't do that as Adrien, like I said, so he just does it all as Oh my god, stop. I really love it. I hope all yell. In caps, I've put, oh my god, he kills me. Yes, he does. Because of everything. Literally, like I said, his puns, jokes, flirting with Ladybug is everything. I think that's what makes it brilliant. Like, as they're fighting, I just love the fact that he's constantly throwing a joke or a pun. And they make me piss all the time. We're probably really cheesy and, like, corny and, like, a bit shit. But I actually quite like them. They're so funny. I should probably, do one where I talk about, like, some of my favourite things, like ones that he said, because I wasn't going to put clips in this video, but there are a few of his that make me laugh so much that I could always talk about again if you want me to go into detail, because I actually love him. He is literally so iconic, and I think that is why I watch it, not gonna lie. Yeah, the last thing I put was that I actually love them as a team. Him and Ladybug are everything. I say everything a lot, but they are, and I can't. And they're little, like, pound it, stop, they kill me every single time. Because at this current moment, we're on season 3, like, season 3 is over, we're waiting for season 4, and I've seen all of it. I've also seen the, like, hour-and-a-half, like, movie style for the New York one. Holy shit, that was great. And I will say that season 1 is, like, the one that I know practically every line to, because when I first started watching it, I literally just watched it over and over and over again because I loved it. And this was, of course, at the time I didn't know anything about Shadow Hunters or Malik, so it would just be Miraculous. So I just watched that all the time, and I would constantly say the lines, and I say them now. Like, I literally know everything of season 1. There's probably a couple of episodes I don't, because I didn't watch them, but I literally do. And there's probably a lot in season 2 as well, like the beginning ones of season 2 I would watch. Season 3, when I was rewatching it, was very difficult because I literally forgot everything in that, because like I said, I'd only watched it once. But it does make me laugh that I can probably recite any scene from season 1 because I was addicted, and I still am. Oh, okay, so the next one is Tikki. Now, I actually love the way this works. I really like the fact that the way they can transform and have powers and be these amazing badass superheroes is by Kwamis, which is what they're called. And oh my god, Tikki is adorable. I actually love her, and I also love her voice because I try and do her voice a lot, and that's why I like I said, knowing the scenes, I do a lot of her and Marinette scenes because I love their relationship so much. It's adorable, and she's worked so well for Marinette because, of course, Marinette at the beginning in that Origins, that she was like, whoa, what the are you? Because, like, she was really, and of course she would be. But she was like, don't be scared, I'm going to explain to you everything, and that's why she's amazing. I love her. She's just so cute. Yes, she is. Like I said, I love her. I keep looking but I love her relationship with Marinette. Like, I have put in brackets here, I know most of their scenes together, yes, from season 1, because I also love that she's constantly, like, in her handbag. That's adorable. And she's always, like, poking her head out, like, when someone leaves and something happens, she's always like, Marinette, especially when she's, like, just rambled and, like, word vomited to Adrien about shit, and then Tikki's like, okay, what was that? What did you just say to him? And she's just like, I have no idea. But it's just, I can't. I think I like that because I also like that, you know, she's technically the only one that knows about her double life, because of course they have it stuck in stone in this show, and they're adamant that they can't find out, like anyone can find out, and that is what sometimes really frustrates me. I think it goes into the love square, but I'm not going into that just yet. But yes, I do like the fact that she can talk to Tikki pretty much about anything because she's the only one that knows. The last one I put as well about Tikki is that she is brilliant. She constantly states the facts to Marinette, and I love that, because a lot of the time she would give up, or like she would be like, shit Tikki, I can't do it anymore, and she'd be like, no. She's like, you are the chosen one, you are amazing and brilliant, you're fine, you can do it. And she just gives the best advice, and I do like that. I also like the fact as well with the Kwamis is that you can see where Ladybug and Cat Noir get their qualities from, like get their, I don't know, like personality from a little bit, because obviously they are Marinette and Adrien, but like they are a bit different, and you can see that because of the Kwamis. I think I see that anyways, because of course the other thing I remember seeing something someone pointed out once is that you know, Ladybug's sweet because Tikki constantly likes sweet stuff. You know, she has a sweet tooth and she eats cookies and macaroons and amazing. So the next one is Plagg. Bloody hell, he's everything as well. The first thing the bullet point that I put is just he is a mood. And that is an actual fact, because all he cares about is eating cheese. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm sane, but no at the same time, because it does look a bit disgusting. Because I don't think I've ever had camembert before, and he's constantly eating it, and I'm just like, right. But yeah, it's so funny because he doesn't really give a shit, to be honest. But all he cares about is cheese. And, you know, most of the time he can't be arsed transforming. Like, Adrien's like, let's go. And he's just like, oh, I just want to eat cheese. And it is hilarious. And then, I'm not being funny, but like I said, just with the whole, like, personality thing, he has a lot of, like, jokes and things. Like, some things that he says to Adrien are similar to what then Cat Noir says when he transforms, and it's just like, well, duh. So it's funny. But I'm the same with knowing a lot of their conversations. I just love their conversations and their relationships with their Kwamis. I think it's just so cute and so funny, things that they say. Probably because, as well, like, no one knows, like, when they're around people, like, their friends or they're at school, they then, like, sneak off, and then they're, like, talking to their Kwami, like, shit, we gotta go. Or, you know, or, like, they're just talking about something randomly. I just love it. I really do. Obviously, he's not always so, like, into the cheese. He's still there for Adrien, and he still cares about him. Like, they still have a cute relationship, and it's on the same lines as Marinette, you know, like, he's the only one that knows everything. Winnie's barking, rude. But he does, and with Adrien being so lonely, like, he's constantly on his own, and his dad's such a dick that he doesn't have anyone to talk to, so Plagg's there for him, and I like that. Even though all he cares about is wanting him to give him cheese, he's still got him, and I like that. I really do. All right, so I'm just going to briefly talk about Alya Nino, because obviously they are also amazing in everything, because they're like the friends of Marinette and Adrien, so I just wanted to go into that. So Alya first, an actual queen. Literally. I stan her so much. She's everything. She's the best bestie for Marinette. She actually is. She's always there for her. I love it. And I do love the fact that she's desperate to obviously reveal Ladybug's identity. And I'm always a bit like, yeah, go on. Because I would actually love it if she knew. I want loads of people to know, because of course I want to know. But I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I just think, like, she's her bestie. She should know. But they're very, like, adamant in this show that they can't. And they've definitely gone into detail about it and showed us in episodes, which was rude as but whatever. But either way, it does make me laugh. She's, like, trying to get this, like, no. And Marinette's always just like, can we change the subject? Because she's always trying to say to her, like, oh my god, I'm so close to finding out who it is. And she's like, shit, what? Oh, Christ, it makes me laugh. Christ, yes. I've also put on here that I love her and Nino, like, they are so cute together. And I think it was halfway through. It's Animan of season 1. Yes, that's the one where they get together. It does make me laugh though in that, because they just randomly threw in our faces that Nino had this crush on Marinette, like, all of a sudden. I was like, okay, what? Since when? And then at the end, he gets with Alya because of what happens. But I stand that so much more. Like, they are so cute. Like, more and more, like, season 2 and 3, they're together and adorable, and I'm like, stop! Because they are. It does make me laugh, though, because at first she was like, he's like a brother to me, and I was like, oh, because, like, you end up being in love, but please. They realised it in the end, and I just can't. They are just so cute. Oh yeah, the last one I put is that this happened in season 2, but I love that she became like Rena Rouge. I actually need to go into that as well, but I won't. But I do love that she is Rena Rouge. She was a queen as her as well, so I liked it a lot. So of course I'm going to go into Nino now, because I did obviously just talk about him, but also love him as well because he's another amazing bestie to Adrien, because he's there and he tries to like get him out and talk to his dad, the dick, and he's just, you know, they're just so cute to have somebody there for them. I know that they have them, but obviously with the Kwamis it's better because they know everything, like I said. But I just like it that they have a friend, because when he first started he had no one, and I mean he did have the bitch, but like he was like, you're friends with her, and he was like, oh yeah, and he was like, that's gonna change, we're gonna be friends now. That made me laugh, and it was brilliant. What else have I put? Oh shit, yes, he makes me laugh a lot, but his protectiveness though over Alya is so cute. Like when they got more and more together, there was an episode in season 2 where she got taken and captured, and he was desperate to save her. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one where he became Carapace as well, the turtle dude. Hell yes. He was a king as him. He actually was. Please. They're all kings and queens when they become, like, get a Miraculous. They actually are. Love it. Okay, and the last characters I'm going to mention, I'm just trying to mention the ones that are kind of in most of the episodes. So these ones are going to be like the irritating baddies, like villains, annoying people we hate. But I'm going to go into them because, of course, they are a part of the show. So, the first one is Chloe. That's who I will talk about. But she, holy shit. Season 1, I actually despised her, but like, you're meant to, because they make her as the idiot, the bitch, and it's not being funny, I actually call her Chloe the bitch on the daily. I'm always like, ugh, Chloe the bitch. It's just, my feelings towards her though are differently now to what they were when I first started watching it, because of course now we have season 3 and season 2, and we've also got other people, so yeah, she still winds me up and she still gets on my nerves, but she's a lot better now than how I hated her at the beginning. But like, when I rewatch season 1, I'm still like, bitch, because she is. Well, that's all I'm going to say, because that's all she's relevant for, is being the bitch and like hating Marinette. The fact that she constantly calls her Dupin Cheng though is so funny. She just calls her by her second names, and I'm like, that's hilarious. Oh, and it is irritating as well because they of course made her Adrien's friend and like all the crush. Adrien's, oh, disgusting. And of course the big bad is Moth. Now it's weird because I say it like that because that's how they say it on the show, the Americans, Moth, but I say Moth because I'm bloody British, so I have to say hawk, like hawk, that's what it is, hawk. Hawk Moth, but to be honest, in my British accent, it sounds strange, like Hawk Moth. I never say that. I always say Hawk Moth. Most of the time, I just say it. Like, oh, it's Hawk Moth. But it's spelled Hawk. Yeah, but that's him. And, God, he's a dick, isn't he? Ugh, bloody hell, but like, he's meant to be because he's the villain. But of course, whoa, not be funny. They like made it a thing in season, like the beginning of season 2 that he was Adrien's dad. Not being funny, I already knew that because it was obvious, but of course to the little kids they would have been like, whoa, what? So, but like they did make it brilliant. It confirms it because I wasn't sure, but yeah, I hate him. He's irritating, and every time he's shown I'm always like, ugh. And I do take the piss of him a lot because he's constantly like clenching his hands like, oh, and all his butterflies, oh my god, the amount of jokes that I make about his butterflies is hilarious, because I'm always like, what do? Do you go out with a bloody net catching them to then accumulate eventually? Because he like sits in his room and it always opens like, but like he's always just stood there in the dark, and I'm like, how did you know it was happening before like it opened? I have no idea. And then he has all these butterflies. However, you do find out where he gets them from, and that was just like, whoa. Because technically, it's hard knowing that he's Adrien's dad, because of course we then find out the reason why he's doing this and being Hot Moth, and it's a bit like, oh shit, because now I feel sorry for you, but no, you're a dick. You irritate me. And he's constantly like, oh please, I will do it eventually, and I'm always like, no, we're like about to do season 4 and you've still not done it yet, so clearly you're shit. Yep. And the other two characters that are a bit irritating that I'll briefly mention are Kagami and Lila. Now I feel like I could do an entire video about my hatred towards that bitch Lila, because bloody hell, she is so annoying. She actually makes my heart like, I get so out of breath with anger when I watch episodes with her in it. I can't cope with it. Now it's weird with Kagami, because when she was first in it, she was almost kind of like another love interest for Adrien. I'm like, stop adding the numbers, because it's not allowed, because of course I majorly ship him like with Marinette, so I'm just like, that's rude, you can't do it. So of course at the beginning I was like, ugh, bitch. I didn't like Kagami at first because she was another interest, and she almost didn't like Marinette because of course, did she know that I don't know if she knows that she has a crush on him, but whatever. Again, she was trying to get, and I was like, bloody hell. But I start liking her now, and this is a big statement, but I actually like her more than Lila. Please. I like Chloe more than Lila, and that is saying something, because like Chloe is such a bitch, but like, phew, I do. So yeah, now when I doing this video and after watching other seasons, I can say that I like Kagami. I said she was irritating, but I think the reason why is because if you're a big Adrienne shipper, then you'll hate it, because of course she's like in the way and she's trying to get with him. But apart from that, I do like her, because I'm pretty sure that she ended up becoming friends with Marinette in one of the season 3 episodes, and that was adorable, so she's fine. But like, yeah, Lila is such a bitch. Even thinking about it right now is making me go like, ugh, because I can't cope with her. She's just, nah. I'm just saying that. Like, literally, she is, not being funny, she's worse than Hot Moth, and that is saying something, but like, she bloody works with him, so no fucking wonder. But like, oh, yeah. I think it's just a fact. I mean, Lila lies, of course, but like, I just can't fucking cope with the fact that no one believes her. It's the irony, I think. That's what kills me. So, that's why I hate her. Thanks. Alright, so now we're done with characters. We're going to move on to the love square, which is really going to be interesting. So, the first thing I'll say about it is that I am not going to go into too much detail, because I could literally talk about each one for ages. So I'm thinking that I'm going to do 4 separate videos on each of the ships. So Adrien, Lady Noir, Adrien, and Miraculous. I'm going to do 1 for each. And I might do it like a top 10. Like I've done previously, with some scenes, and actually like put them in, because I feel like that'll be really good. But let me know if you want to see that, because I can always do a separate video just on the Love Square and talk about all of them in one video. But it's up to you what you want. But I am probably leaning towards the separate videos, but we will see. But going into the Love Square briefly, I'll talk a little bit about it now. But it's interesting. It always makes me laugh, the fact that we have these 4 ships and it's just 2 people. Like, how is that even possible? Like, we have 4 separate ships and it's of just 2 people. It's hilarious. But of course, it's of Marinette, Adrien, Cat Noir, Ladybug. It's just all of them mixed together, and I do love it. So I'm going to mainly say my, like, ranking order of the 4 ones that I like the most. And I feel like my favourite one out of them all, I don't know if you guessed already, but it's Adrienne's. Because I don't know why, I just really love them two so much. Because they're just so cute. So Adrien and Marinette, like, I just love it. And of course, when I look at them all, I know that they're the same person. It's just hard because they don't know it all yet. Like, the reason why we have all of these ships is because of the whole identity thing. Like, we don't, with them not knowing, they have all of this. But if they know, then technically it would only be, I mean, to be honest, it would be the 4 still, but it would be easier. I don't know what I'm saying, but yes. But yeah, Adrienne is my number 1 because I really love them so much. And whenever I've seen of them, you like the end, rude, I die. I'm not being funny, the umbrella scene. Woo! That's a bit of a, like, spoiler about if I do a video of that. But the umbrella scene, oh shit. That attacks me every time I see it. Because not being funny, I actually have a lot of photos on my wallpaper slideshow. Yeah, and that is one of them, and it always attacks me. So yeah, that is my number 1. Number 2, I think, is probably Lady Noir, because I just love Cat Noir. Of course, it's then a different way again, but I just love his flirtiness towards her. And not being funny, I kind of like the fact that she's always like, her. And the fact that he calls her my lady, oh shit, that attacks me every time he says it. And Bugaboo, I'm like same. And he's always like, hey Bugaboo, she's like, don't call me that, I hate it. But like, that's another thing about Plagg and Tikki, because he calls her Sugar Cube, and she's like, don't call me Sugar Cube. That's my second, because I just love the Cat Noir, but to Ladybug. I like that, secondly. Third one would be Adrien, because that is like the most like radar, like crush, like going off, because of course that's how the love works. Because if you didn't know, but you should, Adrien Cat Noir is in love with Ladybug, and Ladybug Marinette is in love with Adrien. So it's difficult because that's why it doesn't work. But like, this is the one that's like, because they're both going crazy, because like that's how the love works. So I love it a lot. I've actually seen on Pinterest somebody do a picture of the 4 with like a percentage of how the love goes, and they always say that Adrien is like 100%. Yes, because it is, because they freak out, and every time there's a Adrien scene, I'm like, oh my god. Even though it is my number 3, I still like it, because obviously they're just both like, damn. And it's always so cute when she has to save him, and he's just like, but it makes me laugh, because obviously he's like, I'm about to come see you in a minute, babes, because I'm gonna transform him eventually. But yeah, they're definitely my number 3, and then that makes Maricat number 4. Now I say Maricat because I know people say Marichat, but like that's how you say cat in French, and it's chat. But it just sounds a bit strange, so I say cat because it's Cat Noir, which is obviously Marinette and Cat Noir. This is the one, I always say it's the last one, because this is the one that has no love, to be honest, because neither of them love each other. I mean, yes, but they didn't realise it, so it's like, ugh. So that's why it's my last one, because I do like it. Like, when I see scenes of them, I'm like, because there's one where I think it's like the first one that they do anything together, but he flirts with her, and I'm like, what? Because that is Adrien knowing it's Marinette and he's flirting with her, and I'm like, what are you doing? So it's like, okay. I do still love watching scenes of them, but they are my number 4 because they just don't have love yet. But they don't. I know there's people out there that's their favourite, and there's loads of Cat, and I'm like, how? I wonder if it's after the knowing though. I think it might be like once they've done, because I've seen so many different types of reveals and things, because everyone's desperate to know how it would go, and it's always related to that, you know, like him saving her. And I've seen so much like grown-up fan art where he's like abs for days and he's cut and bloody, and I'm like, don't do it. But maybe I should put some pictures up on this video. I might bless you, we'll see. But yes, I wouldn't say it's my fave, but I still like them a lot. So yes. Alright, so that is the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed me just rambling to you about how I love Miraculous. It is my obsession, and I'm just glad to be back with another video, because Not Being Funny, I've actually missed it, and I just thought that I would do this, because I was struggling for ideas, but then because I got back into watching it, I was like, you know what, I could do a video talking about Miraculous, because it's everything, and that's what I've done. So yes. Like always, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments, and also leave me some suggestions for some future videos. And like I said, please let me know on what you want me to do video wise for the like whole ships and love square situation. But either way, I'll figure it out somehow. I just thought it'd be nice if you told me your thoughts. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye. Like, you learned that from the fucking intro. I'm not saying that. Was it the fuck? I can't say that. 40 fucking minutes, holy shit. Okay, but I'm just gonna briefly talk about, not that. I've got snot. Oh, that's another thing that's hella irritating, is the hay fever is strong. And I'm constantly having to wipe off my foundation, and my tissue isn't shot. Shit, how long was that? Oh Christ. Do excuse me. That's all I'm really gonna say, because that's all that she's irrelevant for. Wait, what? She's all because I'm fucking I'm what? I'm fucking swearing, don't do that. Not being funny, I already fucking knew that. Oh, Christ, girl, don't do that. And then the other two that I will briefly. Adrien is my number 1. My nail is hanging off, don't do that. Someone's at the door, who's that?